and a lot of practice, speaking in front of like lots and lots of people. I think I've spoken in front of like tens of thousands of people, possibly 100,000 plus people at this point. Um, so it's just lots of talking. Try talking a lot. It works. Wicked hard. Um, for me, it's easy, but did I just see London? I'm in London. What's up? That's so cool. Huge fan of London. Although the weather is a problem. Really? School in UK is not focused on being articulate? Interesting. It could have been just me though. I mean, it could have been my schooling and stuff. But I'm also like a perfectionist, so I have this articulate nature about what I say and what I do and stuff. I need it to be great. Whatever I'm doing, I need it to be awesome. I don't just settle for like little like things. Oklahoma. Oi, governor. Alessandra, are you like American in London or are you a London Londoner? Forgot I have like two things open. Oh. Hello, I'd say good evening, but these times are far from great. You can still say good evening. You can still say it. I know what you mean. It's a normal thing to say. Yeah, it's not the best situation, the best situ. I mean, guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm just waiting for eventually getting banned on all platforms, even though I don't think I say anything bad. This is my take. Oh, London, born and raised. Nice. Huge fan. Huge fan of accents. Big fan. But I was going to say, if I get banned, you guys need to jump on my Substack or something. It's free anyway. It's not like you guys got to pay for anything. You should jump on my Substack just in case, because then I could message you guys and be like, hey, here's my new account or whatever. I'm worried they're going to like somehow find a way to like ban my stuff. I don't think my stuff is very incendiary, but there are people on the internet that say 1,000 times worse stuff than me. I'm just talking about like psychology, maybe a little poke here and there, but I don't think it's bad. What do you guys think? I'm gonna poll you. I'm gonna poll you guys. What do you think? You think my content's too incendiary? Oh my God, Alabama. I feel for you. This makes me sad. I'm sorry to hear. I'm sure Alabama's a beautiful place, but wow, I would not want to live there. Not incendiary. Yeah, I agree, Rose. I agree. I feel like it's not incendiary. I've seen people like do crazy stuff, and I'm just talking about psychology. I think. I don't know. Thank you, Juanita. What a cool name, Juanita. I like that name. Carrie, what did you say? I'm trying to follow what you said before, but you said she gave me a thesaurus dictionary to use. It was the 70s. Yeah, people don't learn very much these days. It feels like. Yeah, that's a problem, Joseph. If Trump, yeah, they're labeling the first thing an authoritarian government does is label the opposition illegal, so they can come after you for anything. And I mean, like at the end of the day, they can literally invent something and just put it under the blanket of the same thing. Thanks, Ricky. I appreciate that. Obama was not a good president either. Yes, he was. Darren, he was a pretty great president. He was the best president of my lifetime. So you might not think so, but he was pretty great. Is it really the same trend? Isn't that like, what's that guy's name? Tommy Robinson? That guy is like, I don't even know how he has a following. I'm just surprised that people think that's a good idea. Is that who you're referring to, though? I think that guy, wasn't he like a soccer hooligan at one time? He changed his name. His name is not even Tommy Robinson, it's some other name. His name's something else. He used to be like a soccer hooligan. And yeah, you should. I don't know if you know this though. Do you know, Alessandro, that his name didn't always be Tommy Robinson? I didn't know that like until like a day or two ago. I was like, wait, this guy changed his name from being a soccer because he was a really bad soccer hooligan. Ask Libya and Syria how good he was. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna say he didn't do any awful things, but out of the presidents we've had in the last 4 years, 40 years, I'm gonna say he was the best president in the last 40 years. I didn't know that much about him either. I didn't know. And I was just like, wait, he changed his name? Because the stuff he did, his criminal record and all this stuff was there. People wouldn't follow him or wouldn't take him as serious, I don't think, if they knew his background. Yeah, Farage is a weirdo. I don't understand Farage either. You guys got to fill me in on that stuff. Like, why does anybody care about these people? I don't get it. Is it your I don't understand why people support them. I don't get it though. Columbus, Ohio. Wow. You're surrounded in Columbus, but you know, Columbus is the liberal, probably the most liberal you can be, I'm guessing, in Ohio. Isn't it like Cleveland and Columbus are the two places? I would say more Columbus than Cleveland, but yeah. Dude, that guy Chud, I don't understand why. I mean, it was so obvious what was going to happen to that guy. Like, why would he do such awful, hate-filled things to begin with? And then not only that, but record them? Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, he was going through something. He wasn't just trying to make content. He was going through something in his life, and he basically threw his life away. It's really sad. If you guys want to know what I'm talking about, there's a guy named Chud the Builder, if you don't know his name. But he was walking around saying horrible things to people, horrible, hate-filled things. And he got arrested. Finally, I think he ended up like hurting someone he went pew pew. And he basically got arrested. Thank goodness, by the way. He was a menace. People like him think that he has like, when we are tolerant of intolerant people, that's what happens. People start doing stuff like that because they think he's totally going to be okay. Did they pay his bond with GoFundMe? Oh my God. No way. No way. That makes me sad. That makes me sad. Man, TikTok is popping. Chud was full of himself, but he also, think about where you come up with that. Imagine someone doing that during another presidential, right? Having another president. It just wouldn't have worked. We weren't tolerant of intolerant people. He went too long. I was surprised how long he made it. Took him a long time to get like finally that whole, you know, figure out. He found out. Let's just say he speed ran to how long will it take till I find out what's going to happen. The green for sure, but America is truly leading the way. I agree. Alessandra, you got to look up. There's a guy named Chud the Builder. He did horrible things. They're not AI. Kelvin, they are not AI. It's just me, dude. I am that weird of a looking dude. But yeah, they're real. I edit them myself. Like, I don't have an editor. I don't have anybody like working for me doing this stuff. It's literally me shooting the video and then chopping it up and putting it online. Alessandro, you should definitely check into this dude though. Like, Chud the Builder, it's crazy. Like, the stuff he did before he got caught. Like, he was doing crazy stuff. Well, he was walking around armed, basically. And he was like, oh yeah, mess with me. Because he was like looking for a reason to do something bad. It was awful. And I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, this guy is asking for trouble. I don't know why he's doing this to himself. He's going through something. I'm like, man, what a mess. What a nightmare this guy's making his life. He's not going to be, it's not going to work out the way he thinks it's going to work out. You can't do clemency. It's state charges. The president can only do federal charges. Wah, wah. Yeah, he shouldn't be on your radar, Carrie. It's good that he's not. He was a horrible human being doing hate-filled things, and he thought he could get around, like get away with it. He raised 180K. Yeah, you know what? I think he should have no bond. I don't even know why they gave him a bond. He's trouble. I think he'll do something crazy when he gets out. I don't think it's gonna work out for him. Huh? Chuds? What? Chuds are present on this chat live. I don't think you know what I'm talking about, David. You must not be following. No, I have not made a video about Chud the Builder. He's already had enough airtime. Like, I mean, I don't know what I could say about him. Hey, fan club. I don't know what I could say about him that hasn't already been said. I have a hard time making videos jumping on trends because I'm just like, I don't want to jump on trends. I don't want to be that guy that just is chasing trends as much. But if I find something interesting, I'll do it. Chud's case is pretty open and shut to me. Thanks, Terry. I appreciate that very much. I think Chud's case is like super open and shut. He's just a loser. I hate to say that, but I don't think he had much going on in his life to want to go out and cause trouble like that. Alessandra, how do you decide the topics? Well, fancy, you should ask. I find something interesting on the internet. I'm always looking and learning something new. And that's how I find out. What? I got restricted for what? Why'd I get restricted? Harassment and bullying? Who was I harassing and bullying? That's so weird, dude. Instagram or TikTok is whack, yo. Just told me I was bullying people. Kind of strange. How do you appeal it, dude? I don't know how to use TikTok. You act like I know how to use TikTok. How do you appeal it? You can't appeal live. I don't think you can appeal live, can you? I don't even know. Yeah, they probably are reporting me. I am on Blue Sky. KSC Scope. I am on Blue Sky. It's by my name. Same picture. Rocky, you're welcome. Critical thinking, I can't turn it off. So, you know, I'm glad I can apply it to something that's useful to everybody else. By Chuds, I mean by people saying Obama wasn't a good president. Yeah, no kidding. I can't believe someone just said that actively and was like, oh yeah, Obama wasn't good either. Bro, what are you talking about? Like, you can't say a word about no president now, starting January 2025. There's never been a worse president. There never will be, hopefully. This is the last. of the evil emperors. So thanks, Jay Rose, for watching. I appreciate it. Off the plane today, I think he had blue. Oh man, you almost made me say that, Rocky. Jerk. Oh, I don't know if you can say jerk on here even. Are you even allowed to say that word? Thanks, Jay Rose. It's pretty vague. What do I think of moral foundation theory? I make videos about it all the time. I have a bunch of like videos on moral foundation theory. Yeah, so lizard brain. So, I mean, straight up, I say lizard brain kind of more of like a joking thing, but um, it's funny. And, you know, these folks have a different reward system that they run off of, and they're scared all the time. So they have more of, again, this is just my take. I am not a doctor. So, but my take is from my research is that they have a more primitive type brain that reacts to things with fear, and they are scared of everything. So I think it's a more primitive type lizard brain reaction because the amygdala is kind of like an archaic part of our brain that keeps us away from like dangerous things. Hello from Strongsville, Ohio. Wow. A lot of Ohio people on here today. That's pretty cool. I'm a fan of Ohio. I just don't like the cold. Go Live Vegas. What's up? I gotta shoot you a text, man. That just reminded me. All right. You should not go to bed, Alessandra. You should stay. No sound detected? Can you guys hear me? Okay. That was weird. Anyway, so yeah, but you can stay up until like at least 2:19 a.m. You'll be fine. Just kidding, of course. If you don't want to go to sleep, go to sleep. Gina Capo. Nice. New York City going to Vegas. I like it. I've gone to Vegas too much in my life. I'm not a huge fan of Vegas anymore. I've been plenty of times. I live in California. Okay, good. Hi, Lynn. Thank you for the flower. Hello from the Northwest. Well, hello. Stream soon. Yeah, I'll be back on for sure, Alessandra. Philly. Wonder why my stream got delimited like that. So weird. I don't think I said anything wrong. How do you even if you get like a stream warning or whatever that thing was, how do you even appeal? I don't think you can even appeal those. I think they just are 10 minutes. You're like paused from being recommended. I am not on OBS. I'm on a different platform, but it's like a frame for OBS. But it's not OBS directly. Yeah. I think you're right. I think somebody reported the stream because I'm streaming. I don't think it had anything to do with what I said. I agree. I'm not a very incendiary type person. I don't even know what words you can and can't say on here. What words can you say and can't say? Is there like a list somewhere I can read? Oh, like some kind of thing I can read to find out. They will report your videos. Yeah, somebody tried to report my stuff on Facebook the other day. It was pretty funny. He threatened me on Facebook, and I was like, bro, you can't threaten me. Can't threaten me like that. Like, I'm pretty sure that's not legal. I'm going to report you. And he's like, I'm going to report you first. And it was funny. I just ran an AI algorithm. Your chat is harsher than you are. I don't even know what that means, dude. Like, really? Like, what does that even mean, what you just said? Do you even know what you just said? Thanks, J Rose. Thanks. It's not my voice is this way, not intentionally. It's just my voice. Thanks. What is up with MAGA being so angry all the time, right, guys? You tell me. Just kidding, of course. Yeah. This is why I make videos, guys. I was always wondering why all these people I knew, I was like, why are these people so upset all the time? Why are they always like, can't say, I don't know what words I can say. Yes, there is a big part of it is jealousy. There is a lot of research based on, I could actually make videos on that for days probably, about there's a part of them, they see people doing well, and also people who are articulate as well, such as myself, and they get mad because you're smart, and they're like, oh, so you're going to be smart there, huh? I've actually had people make fun of me as an adult, even going, oh, you're one of them smart kids. I'm like, first off, I'm not a kid. And secondly, I don't know, whatever, dude. They do have a chip on their shoulder. Yeah. They feel shame about themselves. And that shame comes out of them in all different directions, but mostly anger. Thanks, J Rose. Mostly anger. So like, there's only one emotion right wingers, conservative culture actually allows you to have. You can't be sad. You can't be like happy. Then they're like, calm down. Either way, they're like, calm down, right? They're always telling you like, you're too much. Stay of the line, be stoic. They don't say the word stoic. I don't even think they know what that means. But they just want you to go along to get along and just don't talk. Just go along to get along. And if you do say stuff, they get very upset. So like the only acceptable emotion conservative culture allows you to have is rage and anger about something. And that's why they go to these rallies and chant horrible things and cheer, because they're allowed to. This is their vent session. This is their form of toxic therapy. They go and chant horrible things. Let's go chant. Instead of going to like therapy, they go and to a Trump rally and hate the same people together. Yeah. Asymmetric norm enforcement, Terry. It's when they think the rules apply to you, which is what Chud the Builder. That brings me back to Chud the Builder. Chud thought the rules didn't apply to him. And now I think he found out the rules applied to him. And I think that's interesting. Look at John McCain. Yeah, no kidding. John McCain was a gentleman and a scholar. If you compare him to Trump, like he was a smartest man in the world. If you compare the two, if it's only those two guys left, we got one that I would totally hang out with, and the other one was like just a nightmare. You got Nero, Emperor Nero. We all know which one Nero is. Hopefully you guys know who Emperor Nero is. If you don't, he was one of the worst emperors to ever rule the Roman Empire. He was sadistic. He was a sadist. Not a good dude. Man, I really got jacked. That live band thing that they gave me for like 10 minutes. It's really jacking me. I don't even know how to undo it. Anybody? Anybody know how to fix that? Nope. Numbers are going up, so maybe it has fixed itself. Yes, Trump rally. Yes, I agree, David. It is definitely very Nurembergish. See, the thing is, like, everybody thinks like Nuremberg. And by the way, I'm glad you know this stuff. Like, that's really good that you said that, a Nuremberg rally. Everybody remembers the Nuremberg trials, but they don't understand that the reason why they had the trials there, and that's why you know, I know, that you know, is that the Nuremberg rallies were these giant rallies of fascists, just like a 500,000 people with their leader chanting horrible things. And that's why they had the trials there. But yeah, that the rallies were insane. They were a spectacle, very, very like pro wrestling, but like back in the 1930s. They made kayfabe, like they probably invented kayfabe and they didn't have a name for it. Yeah, you read about Chud, Terry? Yeah. You guys got to read about Chud. You guys will watch some. When you have some free time, go and watch some of the videos of Chud, of what he did before. Someone's going to make a video, I bet, right now. This would be, by the way, I'm going to give some free content advice right now. You guys want a video that goes mega viral? Here you go. Make a timeline of Chud the Builder videos leading up to the point where he does something crazy. He ends up hurting someone and then gets arrested for it. Like, you could, that video would just pop off because even I want to watch that right now. So someone go make that video, go grab a bunch of screenshots of his like stream and then share it out and put it together in a compilation. I'm going to say hundreds of thousands of views, if not over 1 million. I've joined your fan club for 2 months. Thank you. Blue Lady. How could I not think you're awesome, Blue Lady? Hey. Some of these words I cannot say, so I kind of am delimiting what I'm saying. I have 2 chats open, guys, just so you know. Dr. Pete, MD, what's up? Yes, I see a lot of Caligula, Hasaga. Like, I see a lot of Caligula in Trump as well. I just don't think people know Caligula as much, even though there's a movie made back in the, what was it, the 60s or 70s? Caligula? That was a good movie, by the way. But man, that guy was crazy. Yeah, Caligula and Nero, kind of the same, kind of like a mixture of both, I would say. You're right. I don't really know either of them. I just know the stories of like how evilly they both were. You watched my live for 100 minutes, Gina? When was that? I haven't even been live for 33 minutes before, I'm guessing. Dr. Pete, it's absolutely my pleasure. Thanks for watching. Yeah, I get it, Lynette. Don't make money for him, but it would be, you could make money. The best part is, like, if you put a compilation together, you'd be making money for you off of him. You'd be put a compilation together and you'd make money. That's what I was trying to say. You could grow really fast and say, like, here's the downfall. Basically, it's the FAFO guy who thinks he could get away with everything because he thinks there's some administration that supports his horribleness. I hope you'll explain to us a good way to respond to MAGA trolls because they're out in full force. You know what really irks these folks is when you ignore them. Hey, Crazy Amy, what's up? When you ignore these people, if you really want to irk them, is that they're trying to trigger you. That's why they wear the shirts, the hats, fly the flags. They want you to see that stuff. They want you to be upset. They want something to happen. Why not 33? I appreciate your videos. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for watching my videos. Caligula, I can't even say the word. Caligula allegedly had his enemies tied upside down. I believe that for sure. Oh my God. That is whack. You sure about that, Darren? Yikes. I didn't read the first part of that, Dr. Pete. Yeah, they only care about their money for sure. I can say that. Facts. Crazy Amy, it's been way too long. You need to join more often. Yes, absolutely. Terry's right. So I said this back in his first term. I was talking to some people I cared about, and I was like, these folks are they just want to be turned loose so badly. And I thought, there's plenty of people in the military that think the same way as some law enforcement, not all law enforcement, right? Because I've had plenty of good experiences with law enforcement, but at the same time, there are some people that go in the law enforcement to abuse power, I think. And they don't mind hurting and harming people because there's like no consequences. And these people just don't care. They're kind of like sadists, and they like the authority and the power and stuff like that. And I think there's a lot of those folks in the military too. Because if you think about it, the military is known. This is just my take, guys. So take it with a grain of salt. I am not an expert. But there are some folks I know in the military, and it's not just a few. They tend to promote people who are very, I'm going to say, not the best kind of people. And they have like this, I'm not saying all military, by the way, either. I'm just using some sweeping generalizations. There are some folks that get promoted and all sorts of stuff, and they are completely not qualified. Peter Principle, for some reason, is alive and well in the military. So these people are looking to just be free to be turned loose. I'm surprised. I mean, there are some really great people, I'm sure, in the military. Probably the majority of the military is. But there are definitely some that definitely have the sadistic thing in them. Just like there are, in police departments and any kind of law enforcement, there are folks that just will abuse their authority. They'll pull you over. They'll do certain things just because they can. They'll do all sorts of crazy stuff. They'll create false charges again. I was in a car once. A friend of mine was driving exactly the speed limit. And he flashed some people like, hey, there's cops. He's driving by and he's like, oh, look out, guys, don't speed. And it's totally illegal to do that, by the way. Anybody that tells you it's illegal to flash your lights to warn others of cops, there's like precedent set already in the Supreme Court that it's completely legal to do that stuff. You can totally warn people. And cop pulled him over. What are you doing flashing your lights? And he's like, was I speeding? Why'd you pull me over? Well, I pulled you over for flashing your lights. And I was like, hey, dude, you can't do that. He's like, you shut your mouth. My friend was like, but I didn't do anything wrong. And he's like, I'm like, yeah. And just so you know, like, there's a Supreme Court ruling. And he was just like, yeah, I don't really care. You were speeding now. And he's like, what do you mean? Well, yeah, I'm just going to make it up because I can. And now you're speeding. You are 5 miles over. Tell it to the judge. And I was just like, Wow. There is a lot of those folks, surprisingly, because I definitely have been around quite a few. They don't mind. It's so weird. They don't mind messing people up. And I'm not saying all cops, guys. I'm just saying there is law enforcement that is looking to do these things. I wish there was a cop or some type of law enforcement in here right now that would be like, yeah, dude, he's not wrong. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding, Dr. Pete. Oh, hey, let me tell you, Terry, I had one in my Facebook comments. This one's going to I probably shouldn't tell you this, but I'm going to tell it to you because I already started. There was a high ranking person in one of our elite military forces, retired, by the way, retired, but said, we're all on Trump's team. And I was like, wait, what, dude? Like, you took an oath to the Constitution, not to a person. And he was like, it doesn't matter. Democrats have gone too far. And I'm like, dude, you're not even in the military anymore. And I looked this guy up. He was like a colonel in a very elite, I wouldn't say very elite, but elite-ish force. One that's been around since like D-Day. And it was very startling to look this guy up and go, holy cow, this guy is a military guy. He's like legitimately, in the military at this force that I was aware of. He's like, I did 3 tours. You guys have gone too far. And they kept calling us like, what do you call us? Like, he definitely said that he said liberals. What is that? It just showed up on my thing. I have no idea what just happened, but some like glowy thing just showed up. What was that? That was really cool. Do it again. Looked like outer space or something. So this guy was messaging me and I was like, hey bro, like, oh, is that a galaxy? What is a galaxy? Jura nerd. Good name. You made me call myself a nerd. Gift called the galaxy. That's cool. It made a really cool visual. I was a fan of that. Thank you. What a cool thing. Is it? Very cool. Thanks. I appreciate that. Are you from Germany, Juriner? Like, do I know you? I do. You're pretty cool, Jurnerd. Jurnerd makes good videos, by the way. You guys got to go follow her. She makes good videos, and she's got some really cool history about it. I'm going to have her on the podcast here one of these days. And we're going to have a good conversation about the history and how this all ties together. We should probably do it sooner than later, just because who knows what's gonna happen soon. Might not be able to do it. But yeah, guys, follow Jura Nerd. She's cool and she makes good videos. The research and compilation that you put into your blogs. Appreciate your articulation. Thank you. Yeah, well, it's got to be good. I try not to post things that are non-articulate. I think you guys are just used to dealing with people that don't have an education or something. Maybe you guys are too much. Maybe you're getting too much MAGA, and you guys think all of a sudden you guys think I'm smart. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I would definitely go on a Sirius XM, being a guest on Sirius XM, or perhaps on a liberal podcast. Yeah, of course I would. Wendy, I was just on a podcast. I've had it. I've had a podcast I was on. Check it out. I don't know when I think it was published. I'll send it in the box. I was gonna post it, but let me see if I can find it real quick. It's on my favorites list. There it is. Found it. I don't know how to put it in. Make sure you guys can see it. I don't even know if I can even send it through this chat. So I put it in the chat. I don't think that's going to work. Maybe I can post it in the live that's live right now. The live that I'm living right now. I can just pin it up in the chat. No, I can't. Wah, wah. Can I pin it? Yes, I can. Sweet. All right, it's pinned. Pinned for your pleasure. All right. Do you think MAGA? Yes, the cult will end as soon as the leader goes, however the leader leaves. Yeah, I don't know what just happened. That's pretty cool. Thank you, Maribel Rodriguez. When the leader leaves, then the cult disappears usually. Oh my God. Yes, Dr. Pete. There has to be accountability. I'm a big fan of accountability. I've never wanted accountability in my life. I always thought like, oh, let's just move on. You know, who cares? Let's forget about it. Not in this case. There has to be accountability, unfortunately, because like, I don't think these folks will learn if there's no accountability. I think that's the only way they do learn, some of these folks. When there's no accountability, they don't look and go, oh, wow, Chud the Builder, like he got off. He did not get off. People, that's the reason why we have law enforcement in the first place, right? Like at the end of the day, we have law enforcement because we want the accountability prevents other people from doing crazy stuff too. Otherwise, if there's no accountability, then people just start breaking the rules. How fun was it to be on IHEP? Honestly, it wasn't as fun as you'd think it was. I was really stressed out. I didn't even really think I answered that well. I could do way better. It was a pretty short notice interview. Happened, when was it? Not this past Sunday when it got released, but it happened the week before. And I was like super stressed out, to be honest with you. I never get stressed out talking. But, oh, thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't think I did great though. I could do so much better. I just haven't been practicing live as much. So I used to do like lots of live on the hellscape that is Twitter. I was doing live social audio spaces every single day for lots of hours. And it probably did like more than 6,000 hours on those audio spaces. So I guess in theory, I make a pretty good DJ. MAGA is louder now because they're failing now. That's why. They're collapsing. You're watching MAGA collapse as we speak. Yes, they are falling apart. Thank you, Mikhail. Mikhail. I think that's how you say your name, Mikhail. Appreciate that. Ex-cop, it's not wrong. Nice. Sorry, I got to your chat too late over here. Benny Loco. I won't say your whole name just to, I don't want to put you on blast, but ex-cop, he is confirming I was a cop till the cop tried to, yeah, got it. I feel you. Yeah, it's dangerous, dude. It's crazy. What is it, Crazy Amy saying over here? And they know it. Yes, and they know it, Crazy Amy. Not so crazy, Crazy Amy, right? Let's see. Entitlement. It was aliens, man. Oh, man. I think you're on the wrong podcast, brah. Joe Rogan's like next door. Yes, MAGA is spiraling. You're right, Crazy Amy. Let's see here. I have a lot of retired colonels in my family that are leftists. Good. Thank goodness, Darren. That makes me feel a lot better. But this is a full bird colonel. I looked him up. That's why I know. He didn't just like convince me. Full bird colonel was saying some crazy things on Facebook. And I was just like, wait a minute, bro. You should not be saying this to me. You were in charge of a pretty elite group for a long time. Lots of tours. I'm just like, dude, you should not. What is wrong with you? And he was like, oh, yeah. I don't know what words I can say on here, but he was basically saying that we were like left-leaning people were the problem. And I was like, bro, we're not the problem. Like, we're trying to convince you, like, you guys are off the rails. Please pay attention. McFly. Good. We need a lot more like gentle people, gentle women and gentle men, colonels and generals and stuff like that in the military. People who've actually studied history for real. And the guy that I was talking to said, he knew about history. He did not, by the way, know about history. He thought he knew. And I was like, bro, how am I schooling you on military history? And yes, I studied military history since I was like 5 or 6 years old. Probably not a normal thing to do, but I did. And I thought it was super fascinating. And I knew more than him. And that was not a good thing. Yes, the left did warn people, unfortunately, but no one listens. Just like anything else. They wait till the airplane crashes before they fix it. Hey, Lucas, I just wanted to say that I really follow your videos and I think you are such an eloquent person. Thank you very much. I have not heard the word eloquent in a very long time, and I really enjoy it, by the way. I was wondering, do you have a degree or formal training in psychology? I do not. I am not a psychologist. So, nope. I have master's degrees, and part of that, my master's programs was psychology, of course, but no. But I have studied psychology for like 23 years, seeing that I've been in consumer psychology. And, my family was in, my mother was a person in the psychology field. I don't want to give too much away, but my mom kind of instilled this stuff in me. Yeah, I don't know. I can't say the word, but there will be a void. But I think there's a cult of personality. There's like, it's funny because there's a lot of people saying it's good if something bad happens. It's bad if something bad happens. There's like this tilting stuff. And I agree. I don't know the right answer. But most people think that, when Caesar, I don't know if you guys know the history of like Caesar and the Roman Empire, but he was the first like Roman emperor after the Republic. He kind of destroyed the Republic at the end of the day. And then when he was gone, they thought they were going to return to a republic. And what happened was they just kept getting more emperors over and over and over again. Unfortunately. Thanks for all that you do. Thank you, Dan Brown, for watching. That means a lot. Oh, man. Terry's got a celebration ready to go. Bernie. I don't know what that means exactly, Bernie. I'm a little behind on chats here. As a neurodivergent individual, I sometimes have a hyper focus around various topics or subjects. Yeah, I don't know if I'm neurodivergent, dude. Like, I don't know if I am, but I definitely have a hyper focus on things that I just can't stop doing. And then I dive in and I become like an expert in those things. And I don't allow myself to like stop learning. I don't know what it is. I'm a voracious learner. You guys will sit there and watch binge watch TV shows. I will sit there and binge watch like documentaries and reading research papers and all sorts of stuff. Like, I am a nerd when it comes to that stuff. But I don't know if that's nerdy. That's just what I enjoy. Well, the redistricting war, I guess you call it. I never called it a war. It's just a scam to try and win the election. I mean, he's trying to steal the election. I think he's going to send the military, which is completely against the Constitution, but that's what I think he's going to do. That's my gut. There's health and happiness. Do you want to be a moderator? You can totally. Are you already a moderator? Does it just automatically make you a moderator? Which it should. I don't know how to make you one. Okay, good. Heck yeah, moderator. That's called autism. Then you get bored and just lose interest and move on to something else. Maybe it is. Maybe I am autistic. I don't know, dude. I've never been. I don't think I am though, man. I don't know, man. It's like, bro, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't think I am, but it's possible I am. I definitely do not settle for, oh, that's pretty good. No, it's not pretty good. Pretty good doesn't live in my house. It's got to be great. Really, Bonnie? You didn't know until you were 42? How do you even get diagnosed for that stuff? How do you even get diagnosed for being autistic? I think if anything, I would have Asperger's because I'm pretty talkative, high functioning. I don't know, dude. If I'm on, hi from Norway, what's up? I love people from Western Europe and also the Nordic countries. Such a huge fan. Thanks for watching and thanks for saying that about my videos. I appreciate it. They don't use Asperger's anymore? What do you mean? Did it say on the spectrum now? I don't know. I don't know what to say anymore then. The rules of communication change so fast that you don't know. Culture needs time. Allow time for people to catch up. I think this is a really big problem with our society. It's like one day it's okay to say something, the next day it's not. And then we expect everybody to be on the same wavelength and understand what's acceptable and what's not. And there's like no running list of what's okay to say anymore. I think that's really interesting because it's hard to keep up when everybody's trying to change what you are allowed to say and what you're not. It's a very dangerous kind of a thing. Asperger's is a what? Is it? I don't know about that. I don't know about all that. Is it really? Oh God, dude, Peter, stop, man. You're gonna make me block you. I hate that. I don't really want to block you, bro. But if you're spreading conspiracy theories, you gotta go. You don't gotta go, but you can't stay here. Let's see. Where is that comment, Peter? Don't make things up in my chat, dude, and spread misinformation. It'll be bad. I think Asperger's was a thing. No, I don't know about that, dude. I don't think so. I don't think it was. I'd have to look it up. He's on YouTube, Health and Happiness. You can't moderate that, unfortunately. I have to like just ban him. But I'll just leave him go. Just stop spreading weird stuff. I don't even want to talk about that cat, yo. ADHD here. Yeah, I know. I definitely have ADHD. I don't know if that's been on the spectrum though. Let me say the video on Donald Trump when he was young really got me. Loved it. Well, thanks, J Rose. I appreciate that. I have another video I was gonna release about it's about 5 minutes long, and it's about, I already have it done, but I wasn't sure if and you guys would like it, but it's about why like homophobic conservative men are almost always, you know what I mean? They basically like other men. So the video basically explains it. I don't know. I don't know if you guys want to see that. It was the most upvoted one in my Facebook community. So, yeah, I don't know. Ghost, it's a good question. Why do we have to label individual intelligence? I don't know. It's the same reason why if we don't label individual intelligence, you end up with who's in charge right now. Can't fight against intelligence. And yes, we do have to in a way, we do have to be good about classifying people's intelligence and elevating the ones that are smart to run our country, to run businesses, to do that. Like, it's very important, actually. Now we have to be more intellectual, not anti-intellectual. So the least intellectual people are good to find, and it's good to find the smartest people. That doesn't mean we make the not smart people do bad jobs, but we definitely need to find the smart people and let them run some stuff sometimes. But they also have to have empathy. You can't just let somebody run things. I mean, look at Elon Musk. You want to let him run things? I don't think so. That guy has literally lost it. I used to think he was a smart dude, man. I was a big fan. And then he started talking. And I'm like, wow, he's not that smart. And then all of a sudden, bam, he started saying like crazy stuff. And I was like, what is he talking about? Some people should not talk. Speaking of people going into law enforcement or the military for the wrong reason, Daredevil, Born Again Season 2, lots of allusion to police state fascism. Yeah, I agree. Man, there's so much chat going on. I'm just skipping to the end. PS, you could be AUDHD. Dude, Laura, I'm a fan of you already, but I don't know. There's too many AUDHD. I don't even know what that means. I can guess what it means, but it's a lot. There's a lot to take in. Why don't we just call it, you could have ADHD and autism? I don't know. I don't think I have any of those. Maybe ADHD for sure. Actually, ADHD for sure. I am not on drugs though for ADHD. Yes, Moral Compass. Joseph on YouTube. We need people who are smart and have a moral compass that have empathy. Yes. It's very important to actually have empathy for other people. And there should be a test. You need to be seen by a psychiatrist. We need to figure this out before they become and put into power. Emotional intelligence is critical. And it's prefrontal cortex. Yep, it is absolutely that. And a lot of folks don't operate off of emotion because they're broken. And they shouldn't be. That doesn't mean they get power. So I don't think just because they're charismatic does not mean they should be in power. So Elon Musk reprogrammed Grok. Yeah, that is definitely true, David Logan. Very true. He did. I remember using Grok like a year ago, and it was telling me, it was always like making fun of Elon and be like basically just like responding. People would tag Grok in Twitter and say, hey, is this true? And it would correct Elon's tweet saying, no, what he just said is not true. Nope, he's not true. It's not true. He's spreading false information. He's like, Grok was literally talking about Elon. So that's pretty funny. I asked this on my Facebook page and MAGA hasn't answered. If your life better with DJT. Yeah, dude, I ask it all the time, Dak Poet. All the time. And no one ever responds. I got to tell you a conversation I had with a lady about 2 days ago. Again, I always try to, I always have like, I think this is why we're empathy people are broken, because I'm a little broken this way too. Cause I always have like, there's potential. Maybe I can help them. Maybe I can fix them. Never works. But I was having a chat with this lady and I go, hey, and I just kept saying this back to her. I'm like, hey, just answer my question. Has Donald Trump made your life better? Tell me one thing that's better now for you. And she just kept talking like as if I was not saying anything to her. And she just kept, I was like, hey, and I literally just copied and pasted what I was saying. And eventually she stopped and I go, hey, did you see what I wrote? Can you answer that question? Because I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to keep pasting this in. And then she just started again without answering the question, ignored the question, and just kept yammering on like I was listening to her. I was like, whoa, what is wrong with this lady? And I looked her up and I'm like, there's a lot of these, like, surprisingly, a lot of these folks are coming from, at least in my inbox, from Minnesota. I don't know what's going on in Minnesota, but they are not, they're really out there, a lot of these folks. And my family's originally from Minnesota. So there's a lot of folks in my inbox that are like, let's just say they're a few sandwiches short of a picnic, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So anyway, this lady just kept talking and I finally was like, hey, can you answer my question? And she just writes, oh, and she just literally wrote, like, I just kept asking the same question. She never answered it. And she finally just goes, and by the way, you're a stupid Democrat. And then just like blocked me. They are the most frightened, scared cowards. And they just like, they post and run away. They post and then they block you because they don't want to see what you say back to them. They just post and run. I think that's really interesting. This lady just like unloaded on me like I was her therapist, but like saying all these horrible, hate-filled things and then blocked me for like all I was doing. Yeah, completely brainwashed. Annalise, yeah, I don't understand how someone in their life could put up with them this way. It's just, ugh, God. It was like they would not listen. They just kept yammering. Strong empathy in these times evolving into something. Once you stop giving empathy to narcissists, the narcissist will crumble. Yeah, I agree. I have empathy to an extent, but I also have to protect myself because there are a lot of narcissistic people. A lot more than, like I said, I've said this before, I'll say it again. It's a lot more narcissistic people, high narcissistic trait people in this world. And everybody thinks like, oh, if you're not like a total narcissistic personality disorder person, then you're just not really a broken person. You guys don't understand like how bad narcissism actually really is. It's been like softened because everybody uses it for people they just don't like. Oh, they're a narcissist. Pop psychology, yo. Pop psychology ruined the term narcissist because narcissist is bad. I always thought when I was a kid, I heard the term narcissist from my mother. And she would be talking about somebody in her life. She'd be like, oh, total narcissist. And I was like, she's like, it just means like someone that likes to look in the mirror at themselves all the time. I was like, oh, it's a weird word. Why wouldn't you just say they like to look in the mirror all the time instead of just calling him a narcissist? Anyway, so that's what I thought it meant. So I was like, oh, I just looked in the mirror at myself. Does that make me a narcissist? And I don't know. I thought that was interesting. But then, like I said, as I got older into my later teens, I was like, holy cow, narcissism is like actually a really bad thing. They're bad. People like they're not, I don't even know if most of them aren't even intentionally bad. They're just broken. And the worst part is they don't self-reflect. So you can't fix them. Sorry to hear that, Queen. Sorry to hear that you were married to one. I've had quite a few in my life. I grew up in a narcissistic household framework. I know all about it. Golden children, black sheep, all that stuff. My parents were narcissists. Were? Oh no. Sorry for your loss. Yes, I agree with what you just said, Terry. I agree with that statement for sure. I'm disappointed as well. Yeah, family trauma will not be erased because people keep having kids that shouldn't be parents. And their parents, and that's why they say, I always thought it was weird. I'm like, how can you pass down trauma? What are you talking about? No, you can easily do it because you learned something from your toxic parents and they start teaching you that by treating you the same way their parents treated them. And that's how you pass it down. You break your kids. You make them become certain roles. I don't know if that happens with like an only child. I can see an only child. I don't know how you could still hurt an only child, obviously, but I don't know how there's no family dynamic that creates, it could create narcissism for sure, but it can't create black sheep if you're the only child. I don't think. You'd have to be a really, I don't know. But there's a toxic dynamic if you have siblings that really is much more common. Authoritarian parenting is like so common. It's crazy. I didn't even know how common it was. It's fucking, oop, I swear. I don't know if you're allowed to swear. Oh no. 80% of the planet. Yeah, well, it's a spectrum. Everybody's narcissistic to some degree. Everybody. It's just like any spectrum. And people with high narcissism, especially living in a capitalist society. Capitalist societies actually, I mean, any kind of capitalism creates. If you think about it, like narcissism is the driver of capitalist societies. I'm all for capitalism, by the way. I don't think capitalism's bad. I just think capitalism lies to people. I think a social democracy is the way to be. Social. Yeah, learn your red flags if you have narcissistic tendencies. Yeah, but the thing is, you can't, not Dustin. I don't think narcissists self-reflect. So they can't. Good chat with you, Terry. I don't think they can learn because they don't self-reflect. They literally don't think up for themselves or think about themselves. Because if they did, they would have a collapse. Yeah, I agree. Joseph is very complex for sure. And a lot of these traits I'm talking about from my research is that they all kind of like, they're like comorbidities where narcissism and sadism kind of go together. A couple of these things where it's like, wow, narcissistic. And like I spoke to someone the other day, like, and when I said the other day, that could be like a year ago, by the way, just an FYI. My time scale is like way off. But I can be like the other day, that was 3 months ago. But the other day, let's just say that was like 4 weeks ago. I spoke to someone who literally had the worldview of, I'm going to mess people over before they have a chance to mess me over. And I was like, that is not your worldview. Come on. And they were like, no, really? Of course that's my worldview. Am I dyslexic? I don't even know what that means. And this person was totally dead set that was their worldview, that they thought that was their worldview. They were like, literally, I'm going to like basically mess people over before they can mess me over. And it didn't matter who they were. And I was just like, really? I'm like, I've never messed you over. So that's proof that it doesn't exist. Your theory is wrong instantly. And they were like, nah, that's different. I'm like, it's not different. I've never messed you over. So there's evidence. And they were just like, nah, it's not. I'm gonna mess people over still. They're like, I guess it's an excuse to just like be bad. I think a lot of people want a permission slip to like do things, and which is what Trump gives people, is a permission slip to be awful. I wish I could say that word. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the N word, the people who ran the German government in the 30s. Yeah, it's tough to engage with MAGA. I agree. Such a thing as healthy narcissism. Yeah, of course there is. Healthy narcissism is just having a healthy ego about yourself. Again, narcissism is a spectrum. You could have also unhealthy, low levels of narcissism, and then you're depressed and you feel awful about yourself. And yeah, it's not good. Yeah, narcissist is absolutely misused term. It's way overused by pop psychology. There's all sorts of like new pop psychology terms like covert and overt narcissism. It's like, bro, it's too many narcissisms. Like, who's making this stuff up? I've looked it up before too. Obviously, I couldn't help myself. Like covert narcissism, it's like very new term. These terms are just like being made up on the fly. And they're probably right. I'm not saying they're not correct. They're just new. So people have to learn and then like peer review it. And then, hey, I also recognize this behavior in other people. You're right. Covert. And then it's like, after a long time, there becomes this like consensus of people that believe it. Schnatzy? I don't know. Is that the way you could say? I don't know. I don't know. I can say Yahtzee, right? I like that game, Yahtzee. Yeah. So the Yahtzees. So weird. You can't just say stuff. So weird to me. Um, who is smart? How can they think he is smart? I didn't see it first. Oh yeah, Schnazzies, the Schnazzy man. Yeah, he was not a smart dude. Actually, he was a super shy, insecure dude. He was super insecure. He's good at chatting. Not chatting in real life, but yeah, Trump is definitely not. But I thought you said mustache man. So yeah, he is not. Clearly, Trump is not smart. I mean, bro. But there's some things that come to you innately. So like when I say, oh, he's creating a cult, he's created a cult. He knows the programming of cults. He's read books. He doesn't know he's doing certain things, but he does recognize probably patterns. He's not the dumbest guy in the room. He's pretty close to it, but he's got some common sense. He's pretty surprisingly can pull off cogent conversations even now. I hear him say stuff. I'm like, oh, he seems pretty with it. Even when he's like a little like, whoo, he still seems like he's with it enough to be like, oh. There are even moments where I'm watching him because I'm always studying what he's doing. There's sometimes I'm like, man, I can see why some people like him every now and then. I'm like, he's like a grandfather. There's like very small set times when he comes off, and I'm like, oh, wow, that was a pretty like, I don't know how to say it. I wouldn't say likable, but it was very kind of like relatable thing he would say, and I'm like, oh, well, that was interesting. German Confederate has a great way of saying it. I never thought of that, but that's a really good idea. I agree. The German Confederate. to a boot camp that candidates from mental, physical. Yes. Oh my God. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't it be great if we actually like had restrictions of who could run for a political office? Machiavellianism. Ah, man, that's one of like these new it's one of these, it's not new, but it's a dark tetrad, and it's like it's hard to like classify someone as a Machiavellian without being something else too. Like a pure Machiavellian toxic person is definitely narcissistic also, right? So it's kind of like these comorbidities that go with each other. You can't, it's like I've never met a Machiavellian. What I've met is a very deep, narcissistic, broken person who was also a Machiavellian. And you didn't even realize, you thought they were doing it by accident. And you come across, you find out that they're actually doing it on purpose. And it's like, whoa, they've been this way. They've been purposely awful. I always thought, oh, they're just being awful because they don't know any better. No, they know, but they pretend like they don't know. So Machiavellians are pretty dangerous to run into, I think. And there's so many people you think, oh, no, they can't help it. No, there's a lot of people that can help it. And they try to pretend like they're, I don't know. They play the role, let's just say. All right, I got to catch up on my chats here. Let me see now. Did you speak to Agent? Not yet. I'm going to text him after this chat. But I'm going to, because he seems like a really good dude. I know I was the two. I wish I was the two covert narcissist guys. Wait. I don't know what that means. How are you two guys? Oh. The mustache man and his like cronies there, you're saying you keep comparing the Trump regime to them. It's an apt comparison though. There's like I said, you should follow that person that was in the chat earlier. She actually has a really good video of the comparison that she says it so well because she's German, right? So like it's such a good piece. You got to go watch it on Instagram. And I think she's on TikTok, obviously, too. She was just in here. Gave me a galaxy. I was like, what is that? I don't even know what a galaxy is. But anyway, she made a great video. I'll pin it up in the chat, actually. And she explained how it is an apt comparison, even from a German standpoint. And all these German folks agree. Everybody in Western Europe agree that we have an authoritarian in power right now. And it's getting worse. I'm going to pin her name up here in a second. Awen. I'm just looking her up right now. Okay, so I'm going to post her name in here. You guys can do the rest. There it is. That's her handle there. Check it out. Check it out. What? Capitalism is fine with checks and balances. Yes, I guess. I think social democracy is a little bit better myself. Term for something self-destructive. Instead, other people destructive based on their, yeah, I don't know. I agree. Narcissists do not self-reflect. They can't self-reflect. They don't even know what that means. And you could literally record them, play back the video of them acting exactly how you said they would. So what I've noticed about narcissists is that they will not only not self-reflect, they will change history. So like within 30 minutes of you guys having like an argument or disagreement, they could say something and you were like, dude, I know exactly what you said. Here's a video of you saying it. They will change history to the point where you don't even know. They're still trying to convince you that you didn't hear what you heard, you didn't see what you saw. That is literally a narcissist playbook. They change history so that you're always the bad guy. Doesn't matter. Always the bad guy. You will always be the bad person in their little game. You'll always be the one that's too much. You'll always be the one that starts an argument. You'll always be the one that disagrees. You can never agree. You're the difficult one. That's what narcissism is. They can never take accountability. And they'll be like, oh my God, but I'm wrong all the time. Okay, name one time. Yeah, it's definitely gaslighting. Name one time you've been wrong. Give me one example of you being wrong right now. And they'll think of something from like their childhood just to prove you wrong. Be like, when I was like 13, I was wrong about like this movie. So you haven't been wrong about, exactly, Darvo. If you're saying you haven't been wrong about something since you were 13 and you're in your 40s, do you see that as a problem maybe? It's like, wait, you can agree to even, hey, if I am right and you're saying awful things to me right now and I prove you wrong, you're going to apologize, right? Oh yeah, totally. I'll apologize. Of course. You prove them wrong. Silence. They'll disappear on you and they won't come back for like days to like chat with you again. And then they'll pretend they don't remember or never had that conversation. They want you to, they're completely avoidant people as well because they can't self-reflect and they don't want you to bring it back up. Because if they do, you're the bad one again. Yeah. I'm looking at Joseph. I'm catching up to the chat, by the way. Joseph, you're right. He was Mustache Man was a very angry, degenerate person. Very much getting injections by his doctor all the time too, by the way. He was taking uppers a lot. I'm scrolling down. Gaslighting, yes. I love how everybody's like running. Gaslighting. Yes, gaslighting and Darvo, yes, 100%. Darvo all day long. And they will never admit, you could literally videotape them and play it back to their face and they'd still be like, what's wrong? See how bad you were? They'll say that to you and be like, bro, like, do you see the video? Do you see what's happening? They will never, ever self-reflect or take ownership. It's something like they cannot do. And even if they do understand it, it's a dominance thing. They want to like be never wrong because somewhere in their past, being wrong meant you got ridiculed. You got, your parents came down on you, whatever it was, something bad happened to you. So like, you can't be wrong. Ridicule is probably, emotional and mental abuse, I think is probably what usually happens. You just get ridiculed till no end. And then you don't want to say anymore. Or if you do say, you have to be right. And then you use bully tactics to like, no, I'm right. And you better say I'm right too. I'll send you the link. I'm not on Instagram right now, but I am on TikTok. I don't know if you can find it on her account though right now. All right, I'm going to pin her thing up in the little Facebook chatty thing here. Let's see. Good comparison. Wish I could find the video itself and I would just pin that video up. Let's see if I can find it. Sorry, I'm not answering questions right now. I'm just looking for a video. I like being precise. Cannot find it. Well. Anyway, I gave you her account. You guys can go and find it. But make sure if you do follow her, be like, oh, I'm here from, what's his name? All right, I'm back. Let me look. Does it say, oh, you're live on Facebook? Yes, I am. Why can't I see what you're, why I can't see what you show? Yeah, I posted it in there. I'm live on Facebook, on YouTube, on the TikTok. I'd be on Instagram if they did the stream well, where I didn't have to have like a phone separately. Juranerd, that's right. Juranerd is her handle here. She might have the same video on her TikTok. Let's see. I don't see it. I don't see it, but guess what? I know about it as well. There she is. I do. I unpinned it. Well, pin it back up now because I need to share it. Just send me the link. Send me the link in your TikTok to my DMs in your TikTok. TikTok me. TikTok it. All right, cool. She's TikToking it. It's all about TikToking. What did Dustin say that you agree to? Health and happiness. I have no idea. I can't read that fast. Did you just write Sleepy Joe Biden, you weirdo? You're such a weirdo, man. Lynn, Sleepy Joe, Colin Biden. Oh my God. What is wrong with you folks? It's really hard to understand the delusion you live in. I try. Comparison. Let's see. Who is this? Okay. Lynn, you're an interesting character. I don't know why you're saying some weird stuff. Lynn Trin. Are you even? All right. Let's take a look at you real quick. Let's take a look at you. I really hope you're not who I think you are. You don't look like that. You look like a good person. You got the right posts and stuff. Maybe you were just saying something and I was misinterpreting it. It's possible. So, back to me yammering on myself. What are you saying, Lynn Trin? Come on now. Come on now. Oh my God. Conspiracy theories up the wazoo over here. Michael Jackson. Where are you living? Lynn Trin, you're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. Don't say that. So weird. You're really letting me down. Really letting me down, Lynn. Come on. Yeah, Facebook. Yep. Why am I not surprised? I don't even know. I don't know if I think it's a girl. And I think, I don't think they really mean it. I looked at your profile. Did you get hacked or something? Are you right? Because the stuff you're saying on your profile is not the stuff you're saying on this chat right now. So I'm confused. Lynn Trin. Yes, Sandlot joke. Who doesn't like Sandlot? Dude, I've watched that movie like 500 times in my life, probably. Wasted youth. But yeah, I've definitely watched a lot of movies. Too many movies. Yes. Yes, the TikTok chat is very calm. Yep, forever. Um, the TikTok chat is very calm compared to the other one for sure. Stuff is not coming through right away, but I know all of a sudden I see stuff. It's like, man, there's so many comments in the other chat. I can't even keep up with them all. Yeah, I know I'm being trolled, Kristen. It's still just weird though at the same time. Lynn, but the thing is, like, I looked at their profile. They have all this like stuff that you wouldn't expect. I think they got hacked. I think Lynn Trin got hacked. Right? I would love to go on Mary Trump's podcast. She seems really awesome, and I loved her book. She's a very intelligent person. Big fan. How do they find your number and call you? You have like, is your phone number on the internet, dude? Jennifer Lemont. Hello, how are you? Thanks for the white heart. Oh, well, you should probably not do that anymore. You should probably delete your number off of the internet. Probably a good idea, right? Try not to pin it up in your grid on Instagram. I mean, unless you want everybody calling you. I'd recommend to everybody out there, if you ever put your phone number on the internet, don't put your phone number on the internet. Use like a Google Voice number that you can delete, change for like $10 on Google anytime. I am so excited that this is life because you are such a healing hero. The truth keeps speaking. Thank you. Thanks, Roberto Mary. I appreciate that. That's a little too much. I wouldn't put that label on me. I don't think I'm a healing hero, but I appreciate it. Nonetheless, I'm not a stalker, though. There are websites that get my information, and you're smart. Thank you very much. I don't know who you're talking about. Crazy Amy, are you talking to me? Because if you are, big fan. I don't know how I'm healing people, Jura Nerd. You're going to be healing people more when you're a lawyer. Is my number on Facebook? No one cares if your number's on Facebook, Len. Just go look. Just go look. We can all call you through apps anyway. You can just push like call this person on like Instagram or on Facebook or on any of these platforms, and it will like call these people, unfortunately. Unless you turn it off. What time is it? Wow, it's already 6:30. Whoa. Time flies on here, right? Just saw the daddy video. Yeah, it's creepy, right? Creepy. I'm surprised they didn't comment on it. I don't know what's going on, but the algorithm's kind of like blocking me right now with my content on Facebook, especially. Where are you that it's 3:35 a.m.? Are you in England? Awin, are you in England or where are you at? Ireland? Netherlands. Oh, that's so cool. I stopped in the Netherlands for like 10 seconds on a connection flight. So I guess it doesn't really count, right? Yeah, I figured that was England because just did the math in my head real quick. And it's not dark here. So there's that. MAGA, do you think MAGA is unable to calm down after Trump is gone? I think they will not know what to do with themselves. It's nice to know that there is someone pointing out that Trumpers view the question, how Yeah, they are not smart. Yep. Not sure what that means exactly, David, but I appreciate it. I don't know. Yeah, my voice. This is just my voice, guys. Thank you. I appreciate the compliment. This is how I talk. I appreciate that a lot. How often do people call you Mulder? All the effing time. I hate it. Although I used to be a huge fan of the X Files. I loved the X Files. I totally into it. And the first movie, the X Files movie, it was really good. I thought it was good. Who is so hot? Mulder? Yeah, David Duchovny. I guess he is, right? So I don't know. I don't think I look like him. I looked at him. He looks pretty. He looks pretty. A little rugged now. A little worn. Mulder. But yeah, he was in that show, Californication. I didn't see the show, but I wasn't that about like some dude like making moves all the time. All I can say is I'm way taller than him. I'm like 6'5", so giant man. I watched your live for 200 minutes. Are you sending that or is that somebody else sending that? The truth is out there. Yes. I want to believe. I can't believe in that stuff anymore though, guys. Like when I was 11 years old, I read a book. And every recess, I was reading this book, and it was the Loch Ness. It was like a Loch Ness monster book, and I was like, "Oh, this is really cool." I got to the last chapter of the book, and I was convinced I'm gonna go hunt the Loch Ness monster, and I'm gonna find him. And then the last chapter goes, "Oh, and by the way, everything you just read, this entire book, none of it's real. Everything was fake." And I was like, "What?" And I remember I went to my teacher and I was able to zone out of this book. It was the only time I could ever easily zone out with a book. And I was like, "Wait," I'm like, "The Loch Ness monster's not real?" And the teacher was like, "Yeah, I didn't want to break it to you. You really liked the book, so I didn't really want to disturb you reading it." She's like, "I'd never really watched you like be so engrossed in a book." I'm like, "Yeah, well, wait, if the Loch Ness monster's not real, that means Bigfoot's not real. That means UFOs aren't real. That means Santa Claus isn't real. That means like all these things are not real." And she's like, "Don't tell the other kids, but yes, you're right." And I'm like, "Oh my God, none of this is real." And I started doing research back then, even when I was a kid, and I was just like, "Oh my God, I cannot believe how wrong I was." And yeah, at 11 years old, I realized everything was not real. None of this like weird stuff, conspiracy theories and stuff like that. Look, his looks so cute. Whose looks? As someone who's 5 feet, 6'5" seems unfair. Hey, it's not my fault that I'm like a tall dude. It just happened. I just kept growing. But yeah, my dad was like 6'4". I have brothers. They're all over 6 feet. All of us are. Yeah, the UAPs are not real. Sorry to tell you. There are no aliens. They're just trying to distract you, and they know that a lot of the population believe in conspiracy theories, and you guys will get distracted and start making weird things up in your heads, and all of a sudden you're like, "Oh, the aliens are real. Oh my God, Elvis is still alive. JFK Jr. is going to come and run the country." I don't know who this is, Colin. I blocked you. I don't know what that means. If I blocked you, it was probably for a good reason. But I also block people when I misunderstand some of the things you say, and I might take it badly. So just be careful what you say. If there's like a edge of something where you're like you're trying to talk to me, and it could be misunderstood because you're just typing it. Think before you type, because I can't understand you. And if you say something unhinged, I have to protect people who are on here from seeing your unhinged stuff. And that means if I have to block you, I don't want to block people. But I'm not going to go digging around to unblock you. Sorry. Like, where did I block you according to you? TikTok? Dude, I've blocked hundreds of people, if not 1,000 plus. I would love to unblock you. Make another account and DM me the account supposedly I blocked of yours, and I will unblock it, but I'm not going to go searching for it, dude. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to do it. No offense. I'm sure you're a great person, Colin. Yeah, exactly. Not Dustin. UFOs are just to distract you. Hey, Southside Chicago, what's up? How is Chicago doing right now? How's ice in Chicago and stuff like that? And I'm not talking about the H2O. Thank you, Warren. I appreciate that. Warren Peace. Is your name Warren? And then you just said peace. That's awesome play on words, dude. Big fan. Yes. You're a nerd. There's definitely, that's awesome, Warren Peace. Great. That's one of the best usernames I've heard. I love that. Warren Peace. Oh, us nerds love that stuff, dude. Tolstoy, yeah, of course. Who doesn't read War and Peace? Here's the thing. I would not want to read War and Peace again, but I have read War and Peace. Yeah, lots of education. Too much reading. Yeah, no one cares. No one cares about gas prices. No one cares about aliens unless they're going to lower gas prices. Totally agree. May. I don't know what that was, but cool. Is there anything you can actually say to someone in MAGA to make them see how destructive their cult is? First, you have to get them out of a cult in order. Again, think about this. It's like the perfect storm. These folks are narcissistic, which means they don't reflect on anything they're doing that's wrong. And on top of that, they can never be wrong. And you're going to tell them they're in a cult, and you're going to try and convince people who don't self-reflect, who can't be wrong ever, right? Who are highly narcissistic people. Think about that. First, the layer of just like the depth of like trying to convince someone who's like truly got narcissistic traits, who could never be wrong. On top of cult, like it's never going to happen. Yeah, and low IQ, I agree. There are some people that have book smarts. The thing is, like, when you don't have empathy or like EQ on top of your IQ, you're pretty unintelligent as well. Like, you need both to be able to jive in the real world. So yeah, I don't think you can say anything to these folks. You know what you can do? There's something I am convinced works, and I have zero evidence to back that up. And I could be completely wrong, but I probably am not. If you can get these folks to not go on the internet, not go be able to watch the news, and they can't talk to MAGA friends, these three things for 60 days, you might be able to, I think you get these people back. But they need something, because they're clearly, they have nothing going on in their lives. They had to join. Takeaway programming? I've never heard of it. I've researched tons of cult deprogramming. I wrote about cult deprogramming. There's even, I have quite a bunch of questions and answers to expect from these questions, but they don't like snap you out of it. All it does is seeding seeds of doubt. You're trying to seed doubt and let them come to the conclusion themselves, but they never will. What was that? Yeah, it's going to be difficult to get him out of the cult. I agree. Yes. I have a video about how the Trump cult ends. It's basically how all cults end. They always end. I mean, real cults end. And this one is a real cult. Everybody keeps telling me like Christianity is a cult. Like it is. It is a cult. It's not as much as a driven by a cult of personality, though, a person, right? Christianity is driven by kind of like, I don't know. I don't think the Pope is very cult of personality. Right now he is, but usually people don't really look up to him and be like, wow, what a cult of personality. They're just like, yeah, he's just doing nice things usually. But yeah, I don't think there is a cult of personality in Christianity right now. At least not one that's as like a cult leader like Jim Jones, the way Trump is. Yeah, man in the sky. I'm a recovering Catholic, so I totally understand it. I stopped doing religion when I was like 15 or 16 years old. And it is definitely fear-based. It is definitely, but it also is, it's the best tool in the world to dissuade guilt. Just go to the confessional, ask for forgiveness, and you can go do some awful things again, and then just ask for forgiveness after doing them. Yeah, Sky Daddy, exactly. Imaginary. I always call him a imaginary friend for adults. So, I still, I was raised very Catholic, and I still find myself going, oh man, I always go, oh God, I always say God like a lot. It's in my vernacular for life. There's like, yeah, 10 Hail Marys. Oh my God. The Stations of the Cross I used to have to do. Dude, I went to church like 6 days a week for probably a decade or more because I was in a Catholic school. And then every Sunday I had to go to school, had to go to church also. So like, dude, I probably went to more church than most people go in their lifetimes in like the growing up in Catholicism. Nope, they just need to give thoughts and prayers. Stacy, you're right. They just give thoughts and prayers. I found the reward of ignorance. Yes. How could you mention really what happened when? Could you mention really what happened when? Because literally most of them will be in a stupor. They won't be in a stupor. They'll be like mourning, and they'll find a way to canonize their cult leader. And honestly, I can't really say these things, so I can't really say what. I can see them using it as a night of broken glass scenario. If you guys know anything about German history, Night of the Long Knives, Night of the Broken Glass. They will use it as an excuse somehow. Catholic school, yes. Catholic school, had a uniform for sure. Still have the tie, my last tie of my Catholic school. Still have the nice green plaid tie. Had to go to church every day at Catholic school. Right? Fox convinced people because they're one of the only free channels. And they're on like every military base on every TV and every military base. Fox News is on. They're in every car repair shop. They're everywhere. And what Fox does is they lie by omission. So when something really bad is happening in the world, they don't report it. And they report other stuff like Obama's tan suit. You're like, wait, what's going on in the world right now? And you're talking about tan suit gate because there was nothing to say bad about Obama at the time. So they had to make fun of his like suit color. Think of how ridiculous that is. Right? Imagine if we were so bored we're talking about some dude's suit color. Like, Can you imagine the wonderful days of being able to sleep at night? Right? Who's Mulder? I don't know. Who is Mulder? David Duchovny is Mulder. Guitar teacher was from Cuba. Oh, that's so cool. He's very resourceful because of all those old cars they have to maintain. Yeah, I wish they would leave Cuba alone too, dude. Think about what Cuba is. It's like first off, it's a pretty good size island, but it's like they just leave them alone. They do have some fancier, older 50s and 60s cars. I'm sure they won't pass emissions though. Dak Poet. Let's see what we got here. David Duchovny. Yeah, I'm not David Duchovny. I'm not Mulder. He looks so cute. Mulder does? Yeah, I agree. You guys got it. You guys can have Mulder. All right. What else we got here? Dude, I can't tell when a dude looks attractive. I never had that skill. The only way I could tell if another dude is attractive is if there's like girls I find attractive that are attracted to them. That's literally how I've taught myself how to tell. Like, I have no idea if that guy's cool or not. I can't tell. But if I see a girl that I think is attractive, talking to him and like laughing and, enjoying themselves, I'm like, oh, he must be an attractive dude. So that's how I was able to do it my whole life. I still can't do it. I can't look at a dude and be like, oh, I see why girls like it. No, I can't see it. I don't know why. This is like a blindness of some kind. Six five, blue eyes, trust fund. I'm looking for a man in finance. Well, I don't have a trust fund, but I have all the other things, or at least I was in finance. Actually, it was like fintech, but let me scroll all the way down. I gotta skip some of your comments, dude. There's just so many on this side over here. Yeah, treating a politician like a rock star is whack too for me. I don't get it. I don't get like treating a lot of like rock stars like earn their keep, right? When they can sing well or they can play the guitar well or something, like there's a skill there. You kind of like you're appreciating an art. And there's no art form to being someone who just lies constantly. Everything he says is just not true. I don't know why they keep falling for it. I almost feel like they are also in love with the heel of wrestling. I don't know if you guys ever watch pro wrestling, but there's a character that's always the bad guy in it, and they're known as the heel, and they're always the smartest and also most aggrieved people in the world. And yeah, I just think it's strange that these folks can't see right through that. He just like everything he says is just like, it's like a kid winning the school like class president. He's like, we're gonna have pizza every day, and recess is gonna be 4 hours long, and like, you know what I mean? Like there's gonna be, ice cream machines in every classroom. You just endless ice cream, and then he gets elected, and everybody's like, yeah, I can't do any of that stuff. I just told you what you wanted to hear. I mean, it's so obvious, but I feel like we're living in these guys just like believe everything he says because it's like a sunk cost of like shame. That's the term I made out of like sunk cost fallacy. It's like they have so much shame and they're so embarrassed that they were wrong. They're just going to keep doubling and tripling down on Trump rather than actually going, hey, I made a mistake, because they're narcissistic. They don't self-reflect. They can't admit they've ever been wrong. So which way do you go? This way to say you're sorry, you're right, I was wrong? Or I'm going to go this way, so I don't have to say anything and just keep going down the line of destruction, I guess you could say. Yeah, he's not a strong dude, though. You know what I mean? Like, it's so obvious he's so weak. I don't know if Fox has subliminal. I don't think it does. I think it's pretty easy. I think it's very Crystal Night. Yeah, Crystal Knocked. I think it was called, right? Crystal Knocked or something. Ego death. That's another way to do it. So it's either 60 days where people are away from social media, the news, and MAGA friends, or ego death. Now, ego death is a really hard thing. Hard to want ego death for anybody, because think about picking somebody up after ego death. I don't know if these weak people can handle ego death. I don't think they'll be able to like climb out of that, the bottom floor of reality. Yeah, ego death, exactly. People have no idea. It's crazy. Ego death is like something I've done enough research. I've actually experienced ego death in my life before. I've definitely been at the bottom of stuff before. It doesn't take more than once. And you are instantly, if you can have an ego death and like rise back up from it and build yourself back up from scratch, you will never not be empathetic for the rest of your life, for sure. You'll be self-aware of everything. But most of these folks can never do that. A form of midlife crisis? Yeah, maybe. I think you're right, Crazy Amy. I think you're right about that. It might be a form of midlife crisis, but my ego death happened like before I became midlife. So you have to just have an ego death. But the thing is, like, I just don't want to, I don't wish that upon anybody, because I think most people won't recover from it because they're narcissistic people and they've never been allowed to have feelings. So they never think they wouldn't even know what to do. Like, honestly, that's why a lot of people, can't handle it and go a different direction with ego death. Unfortunately, it's a really bad situation for most people. Okay, I didn't know that about the subliminal messaging. The thing is, I watched Fox News before on repeat, and it didn't subliminal like turn me into anything. It just made me a little more irritable, and I was just annoyed anytime it was turned on. I'm sensitive to that stuff, so I'm like, oh god. Every time that TV goes on, I feel like stressed out. I'm keyed up, and I don't want to feel keyed up anymore. So I would just turn it off or get away from it. Fox is unbelievably negative. It's a rage machine. It plays on, there's only like one thing really, any kind of human emotion that could be maintained, and it's anger or rage. That's the only thing that can be. I don't know or want to know German. Okay. Thank you for that. But it is like, don't know or want to know German. You should want to know everything. Maybe that's what makes me different then. I want to learn everything. I would love to learn German and be fluent in it. I know enough German to get me in trouble, but I'm not fluent in it. No, I can't do any Fox News. I like how you spell it. I spell it the same way, F-A-U-X. Yes, you can definitely tell the difference. CNN is actually based on facts. It doesn't lie by omission. And everybody tries to, I can't tell the two stations apart. And I'm like, I instantly know they're morons. When they're like, oh yeah, they're both the same. It's all the same. Mainstream media is all the same. I'm like, no, it's not even close. What is wrong with you people? I know German, and no, I'm not German. Okay, cool. I'm glad to hear that. It's good to know German. It's good to know Spanish. It's good to know Italian. I know a little Italian. Fox is a bunch of trolls in suits. Yeah, I mostly agree with that. Yeah, Fox is a tough gig. I don't know. People do it. People leave it on all day. My father used to be just completely addicted to it. And that's all he did was you'd call him up and he'd just be super angry all the time. Like, hey, dude, you're like real keyed up and very low tolerance for his frustration was always like keyed up and like he was just like always at like another level of like irritated. And you were just like, why are you so like angry all the time, dude? Like you're literally like your level of anger is just right up here. You're like ready to, it's like, imagine a cup being in your head and it's like the frustration level you can take. Some people wake up and have a cup that's empty or like close to empty. So you can take a lot of like grief and frustration. My father's cup of frustration was like filled almost all the way up, like 3/4 of the way up, if not like 8/10 or 9/10 of the way up. And then there's any little thing just pop off. Political theater. Yeah. I mean, that's all it is right now is theater. Ego death for me was realize that despite my best efforts, my acceptance as a fellow human's dignity, that my control was out of my hands. Yeah, I think the control is not out of your hands, Joseph. I think the control is actually in your hands. Myself, I think you have control over your own life and your own emotions and things like that, and how you express those emotions. I think you're your way out of ego death. You're the only way out of ego death. You might want to apply something else and say, oh, I got through it because of God, or I got through it because of this or that. Whatever it is, whatever you use to get out of ego death, however you want to project you having the strength to get out of it yourself, that's totally okay. I think it's fine. As long as you get out of the ego death, you can, I don't care how you do it. I'm just glad you did. Yeah, these are crazy, Amy. You gotta, it's that is definitely a quote. I don't really know exactly what it means. Starve the ego, feed the soul. I mean, it kind of is pretty vague though, those statements. That's why everybody likes them, is because they're so vague that they're like, oh yeah, that kind of makes sense. They always make all these quotes make sense because they're so, it's kind of like your star sign. Ooh, I just read my Aries sign, or I just read my Virgo. It's totally right about me. Well, they all said the same thing. So that's why it's right, because they make it really, oh, wow, so like, I can't believe they could just read about me. It's like, no, dude, it's not. It's just that took a bunch of vagueness and put it in there. And you're like, yeah, that's me. Yep. Why not? I agree with that statement. My ex's mama called me a socialist because I like Biden. I was like, how is that an insult? I agree. It's not an insult. Funny thing is, like, no one worships like politicians. I don't, I can't even imagine worshiping a politician like they do. And they definitely, they definitely see their lunacy, what they're doing, but they just don't want to admit it. It's kind of like imagine a bully coming to school and they know they're picking your pockets and picking on you. They know they're doing it. They'll just pretend like they're not, because that's what bullies do. They love the idea of you going, "Hey, that's hypocritical." They want you to say that. They want to trigger you. They want you to, like, you're giving them attention they never had before. So the more you do that, the more they're getting it. I am not into astrology either because I have common sense. All right. All right, I'm going to stay on for another 10 minutes. So this is your chance to, let's chat it up because I got to make a video. I'm an Aquarius. That's not true. What? The love of the dopamine. What? Are you spamming my chat, dude? You are not spamming. Are you really? Maxwell FX, are you really spamming my chat? Well, you're not going to find out anymore. See ya. Do chat spammers actually think that that stuff works? Do people actually really click on that stuff? $4,000 to anybody? That's so weird to me. I don't get it. Happy I caught you live. Been saying thank you so much. I appreciate that. A1, I appreciate that big time. Yeah, the MAGA pick on you because MAGA, yeah, exactly. They love it. Trumpsters, in order to cultivate inner peace, empathy, and genuine fulfillment to the soul. Crazy Amy. Appreciate you too, A1. I do not hear these other MAGA people in interviews and see how unintelligent they sound. I don't know. That's a really solid question. I don't understand how you can watch a MAGA creator and hear them talk and hear how mean they are too. To just like they say awful things. And you're just like, how are we making this acceptable? How are we okay with that? Oh, nice. JTech. I appreciate that. You see my videos. That's cool. Yeah, I never know. I can't really see my videos on For You pages because they're like my videos. So I just never know they're on a For You, they're on a For You page. That's really cool to hear though. So back to this. I don't understand how you see MAGA people and then like see them talking and then not just see right through the horribleness. I don't get it either. I think it's very much that guy's on my team, so I have to root for him. I think that's what it is. Yeah, I get it. I have a small library on psych studies. It helps me with my PTSD. That's good. So does your art. That's good. Yeah. But what helps me is understanding all this stuff. Me understanding like facts and science is how I deal with all sorts of stuff. And then it takes the mystery. When you take a mystery out of something, you take the power away from it. So when you understand something, it no longer holds like some weird mystery over you. Yes, they want to know. They do want to have friends. Yeah. It validates them. Yes, correct. The bullies, you think about every movie that has bullies in it. It's not just a bully. I mean, have you guys seen, let's see how many people have seen it. The movie Christmas Story. You've probably all have seen The Christmas Story. Right? And I don't know if you guys have seen it or not, but if you've seen Christmas Story, there's a bully named Scott Farkus. And by the way, I know the bully from that movie. He's obviously an older dude now, but I actually know Scott Farkus. It's kind of funny. Who would have thought? Full circle, right? So he's exactly a double dog dare you. Exactly. The bully has two buddies with him always. Remember, like two kids with him. The bully always has an entourage. There's never just a lone bully. Those entourage people they're the ones who follow bullies. This is the psychology of a Trump supporter. They are the ones that are on the side of the bully. So it makes sense once you think of it that way, because that's just how it is. They're the bully protege. And as soon as the bully's knocked out, like in the movie where Ralphie was like, get out of here, finally. What happens? The kids run away. The other two kids are jet. They're gone. They're like, we're out of here. Bully got knocked over. I got to go find a new bully. That's what they're looking for. There always be those people. There always are going to be those people looking for quick, easy strength, because working to be strong is hard. And these people are soft. So they're never going to look for like hard work to earn respect. They're never going to do the hard work of any of this stuff. They want shortcuts because that's what they want to do. Shortcuts in life. Anyway, that's my take. Bullies are weak, and so are the people that follow them. Let's say A Christmas Story finally loses it all. Yep. I'm the kid with the glasses. Yeah, Ralphie. Ralphie, man. How do you not remember? I've seen that movie like 500 times also, so. Brother and Weird Science. Yeah, I haven't seen Weird Science in forever, but probably yes. Any bully movie ever. There's so many movies with bullies in them because it's part of us, right? There's always going to be the bully. And what are we always told about bullies? They'll never stop until you stop them. So they'll just keep taking until they can't take anymore. Exactly. Bullies are never alone. Kristen, yes, exactly right. Yes, our Congress is elected by their district, 100%. But that's why they're gerrymandering right now, so they can stay in power and not have to worry about how people vote. All right, so I'd really love to book you on some of my podcasts. Wendy, I think that's a good idea, but let's take a look. Why don't you DM me on Facebook? I would be I'd probably do it. I'm not going to DM you. You're going to have to DM me. Call me. You're going to have to DM me. Yes, John Law, minions only follow the strong person. But they're not strong. These people are not strong. They want to make sure that you follow, if they know that you're going to follow the rules. So they look strong because you want to follow the rules. You have like the social contract where you're not going to hurt somebody. They rely on good people following rules. For bullies to stay strong, they need you to follow the rules. And as soon as you stop following the etiquette rules that you've been raised with, that society has like put into you, that you know is right or wrong, the rule of right or wrong, they're not following that rule. So as soon as you stop following that rule too, they're like, oh, wow, I better reconsider what I'm going to do next. So that's the issue. Who's really standing up to bullies right now? Our Congress is not standing up to bullies. Our Senate is not standing up to bullies. Why aren't they doing anything? Why am I making videos and they're not about this stuff? Why is there not a senator right now out on the Lincoln Memorial steps and asking everybody to show up to stop all this? It's pretty easy to understand. They don't really care. Yes, I agree, Megan. Like, I agree about Bernie. There's some people making videos, but do you really feel like Bernie's making great videos? And let's think about this. Bernie's also in his 80s. Like, that sucks that the only person speaking up is a guy in his 80s. Like, why aren't the other virile congressmen and women, younger, virile, like standing up, not just making videos, but being out on the steps? Like, why aren't they out there? I know I would be. If I was a senator, I would be a guy that's out on the steps going, that's it. Everybody, let's rally up. We're having a impromptu protest. or whatever. But that's just me. I'm different, I guess. Yep. SOP, very business lingo-y, but yeah, standard operating procedure for sure. More intellectual, more empathy. I agree. That's the best kind of society I want to live in, is empathy and intellectual. We used to celebrate people who were smart. I don't know what happened to that, but now we're like an anti-intellectual society. It's so weird to me. I don't get it. Well, if I knew the answer to that, Matt Matakava, like here's the thing. Most people want to follow. They don't want to be leaders. So they default and they trade critical thinking for comfort every single day rather than make decisions. No one critical. Yeah, again, Sarah Jane, yes. People will trade critical thinking every single day for comfort because it's just easy. I don't want to cook dinner tonight, so I'm going to order Uber Eats. Not me, by the way. I'm just using it as an example. I don't want to go out to the movies or whatever, so I'm just going to watch Netflix. The easiest path. And now we have entertainment. Like if you think about it, the only thing that's missing from this whole thing right now, bread and circus is the way you kept Romans in subjugated the mob, the angry mob. These people are giving free media, free content, right? Like free, not really free, but you know what I mean? Free-ish. They're not giving you bread and circus. They're just giving you circus. So I think that's where they're messing up. Let's not give them any ideas though. Thanks very much, War and Peace. Great name again. Huge fan of your username, dude. Every time I see it, it's making me laugh a little bit. War and Peace. You should change your last name, bro. That's a great name. Hi, I'm War and Peace. I am not a 66-year-old person, but I already fully speak my mind. That's good. You don't need to be 66. Who's 66? I'm not a 66-year-old person either, and I already speak my mind. I agree. 80% of your life. Oh, okay, gotcha. Sent 200 comments to your life. Cool. Thank you. These are just automated things I'm reading right now. It's dangerous to be smart these days. Yes. Fascism does not like smart people. See you later, A1. Good having you. Yeah, fascism doesn't like smart people. It hates it because it's the only thing that can question history and what's happening. Hypnosis therapy. I've never been able to be hypnotized, so I don't know. That's an interesting one. Let's see here. Yeah, the far right hate college. Yeah. Think about it. The Manosphere. Have you guys seen the movie, the documentary on Netflix called The Manosphere? Whatever, Inside the Manosphere, whatever the heck it's called. If you think about it, all those guys captured all these dudes and said, hey, it's okay to not go to college. Don't go to college, actually. The dumber you are, the easier you are to control. Right? So if you don't learn anything, you can't push back on anything. If you don't know 2 + 2 = 4, you can't argue 2 + 2 = 4, and I know it. So there's no way to argue it. So that's why if you keep the population not smart, they won't be able to push back because they don't know any better. They'll just agree with you. And the Manosphere captured that and goes, hey, don't do this. Pay us to be in our little academies on the internet. Of course, I've seen Idiocracy. I've seen Idiocracy like 500 times easily. One of my favorite movies of all time. And by the way, it's totally happening. Of course it is. The smartest guy in the world was like the most average guy. Think about that. I love the IQ. Dude, that movie is hilarious too. What an underrated, amazing movie. There's a reason why that movie got buried too. Like there was a whole bunch of like political garbage going on in the movie studio at the time. And just to get even with the guy who like I think produced the movie, he got his stuff buried. Like they buried his stuff on him, and they didn't promote it like the way they should have promoted it and stuff. So what a great movie that. Watch Idiocracy. You will be shocked at how accurate it is. If you haven't seen it, you got to see it. I'm sure you can find it somewhere. You can just Google it too, by the way. You can just Google like movies. I'm sure you guys already know this, but you can just be like, where do I watch this? And it will just tell you where to watch it. Yeah, some of that, you know what I find one of the most interesting parts of that movie that applies to today? These guys are watching they're spending all their money on gas. They're spending all their money on groceries. They can't afford to live. And they're watching it as if it's happening to somebody else. There's a scene in Idiocracy where they all get out of his car because they disable his car and they like run away. And the guy who owns his car, that's his car. He turns around and watches all the cops like destroy it right there. And he's like, yeah, get it. Like he was just like cheering while his car, and the dude's like, Luke Wilson in the movie, he's like, he goes, that's your car. He's like, yeah, he doesn't get it. He just keeps cheering as they're like destroying his car. And that is literally what's happening right now. They're watching everything fall apart and they're watching their house burn down, and they can't wait to go back to their house after it burns down and sit in the ashes and rewatch their house burning down on video. Be like, yeah, hand me a beer. It's crazy. Yes, he is. Is he a lawyer too? Oh yeah, he was a lawyer. That's right. Enrico Bendejo. That was his name. Enrico Bendejo. I love that part where they like welcome him. Well, like in the court, I mean, if you think about it, that was kayfabe also, right? They welcome him into the courtroom and they like announce him like he's a WWE wrestler. This is all in the president of the United States was actually a wrestler in the movie. You got to see it. It's hilarious. And it's just so funny. It's so correct. That's the worst part, is that the guy that's in charge of the education, you look over, he's like, that's the guy's, his brother-in-law is, he's in charge of Department of Education. He's like cross-eyed. It's hilarious. You're like, oh, okay. That kind of, it's the Trump administration. It's called Idiocracy. You got to watch it. And it was made in like 2006, I think. Can't remember. I think it was 2006. But think about how long ago that was compared to like now, 20 years ago, and it was accurate. I mean, did they follow Idiocracy script? I don't know. Maybe that's how they built their government. Like, hey, this is our blueprint. I posted it in the chat if you want to see. Department of Education is Vince McMahon's ex-wife. Yeah, trust me, I know. It's crazy. I just can't believe it. None of this makes sense to me. But, hey, what are you going to do, right? Forget about it. Don't forget about it. Does anyone see that Trump massively underestimates what it would take for Iran to surrender? Yeah, we know they're not going to surrender. They would never surrender. There's no reason to surrender. It's truly no reason. It doesn't make any sense. He doesn't even I don't think he wants them to surrender. Why do you think he started the war? It's because he wants to he doesn't want to talk about it. There's a certain, he doesn't like to talk about Adobe PDFs. Yeah. I'm going to say the cradle of civilization is not going to surrender. They just won't. There's no reason to. We don't have enough stuff to make them surrender either. So, unfortunately. All right, let me go back over here. The New Misogyny and the Rise of Violent Extremism. I did not know there's a book, Man Up. It's a tough title. I would not have named it that. If I was marketing her book for her, I would have not named it Man. I would name it Man Up. That's not a bad one, but The New Misogyny and the Rise of Violent Extremism. I would have named it The Rise of Violent Extremism. Man Up, The Rise of Violent Extremism, not misogyny. That word has this connotation that hangs out, and people will just, like, you don't want to, if you're making videos, that's one thing, but when you're making like a book title, if it turns off the word itself, by the way, I'm just talking about marketing words that has nothing to do with what the word means. That marketing word disappear, like if that word has a toxic feeling or sense or negativity to it, it's just a bad way of selling books. So I just wouldn't do that. But the title, Man Up, I'm sure it's good though. I have so many books on my list right now. The New Misogyny. I would have used a different word. Misogyny is a tough word. A lot of people won't even know what that means. Strange as it may sound, a lot of people don't know what that means. Ask 10 people to define misogyny, and they will, I can guarantee you 9 of them will not be able to. Yep, that is true. Failed businessman. I agree. The snapping fingers, the melodic sound. Yeah, it's all personal performance for sure. Iran has no need to surrender. I agree with that. I agree with that. Right? Everyone thinks they have the right definition. No. Yes, 100,000%. It's a buzzword. Will turn readers off. Yes, agree. So everyone thinks they have the right definition. I don't even think I could say the right definition right now until I look it up again one more time, probably. It's a tough word, right? It's the same thing as, you guys might not think so, but I think the word oligarchy is also a tough word because no one knows what that means. I would say like 99% of people don't know what oligarchy is. And everybody's like, stop the oligarchy. Everybody's like, well, I don't even know what that means. So whatever, dude. It's like, use terms. I always say use terms with teeth. If you use a term with teeth, it has already built in. Let me say it this way. This is my last thing, and then I got to go because it's like I've been on for 2.5 hours here, and you guys are probably getting bored of me anyway. But there's a thing called pioneering cost. And it takes a lot of money and time to train people up on something. So do you want to use a word that has already inherent meaning, where people already know it right away and it's visceral, right? It has teeth, a word with teeth. Or do you want to like try to spend millions of dollars, if not hundreds of millions of dollars, and spend years training them to do, like, to now have a word with teeth? Like, oh, I now know what this word means. It is impossible to get there. So what you do is you hijack another word with teeth and you hack how people think. And you go, here's a word with teeth. Let's use that. Everybody already knows this word. Let's use this word to like classify what's going on, rather than saying oligarchy or some of these hard words that nobody knows how to say, or nobody even knows what they mean or define. Use words with teeth so you can hack your way psychologically to people. It's a shortcut for people to understand what you're saying faster. And the faster you get there for people to understand you, the more your message carries. If you try to spend a ton of money and time on trying to hack the pioneering cost and training people, it's never going to work. Don't get me wrong. 20 years from now, maybe the society will be using the term oligarchy. I don't think so, because it's just a weird word and it rhymes with other words. They already have a negative connotation that don't have teeth, that they'll just blow off. So Trying to identify some common meaning. These buzzwords, very different. That would be a good video, Jojo. Make a video on like, I've written some threads about pioneering costs and stuff like that, where people try to reinvent wheels all the time, especially on the internet. The internet's like crazy like that, where people are like, oh, I'm going to invent some new thing. It's like, bro, don't. People spent hundreds of millions of dollars learning already for you, teaching our society to do things. And you're going to try and go and reinvent that wheel and like try to teach people something new. Not a effing chance. Like, go and learn what works already. Take that thing and apply it to what you're doing. And now you've hacked your way 80 or 90% of the way to understanding. And the faster someone understands, the more money you make. And the faster you understand, the more action people can take. So hacking pioneering cost. Think of it like that, right? So if you're going to build a website, this is a good example. Everybody expects free shipping now because of Amazon, right? You guys all expect free shipping for all your stuff. You're all like, what do you mean I got to pay for shipping? Because Amazon trained you over decades now to expect free shipping. Just learn from Amazon now. This is a very simple example, but go, hey, you know what? I know what the cost is to ship to the furthest place around. And plus there's dynamic like values. Well, you can just like dynamically put in like the cost of an item that's tied to how far away it is to ship to you. So you can put it in there and say, everything's free shipping, but just include the shipping price in the total cost. People don't care. They don't want to do math. They don't want to see something new. They just want to know what the total price is and if they can handle the total price. Same thing goes with the internet. You're building a website. Don't start from scratch, dude. Go find the best website you can find that performs really well, that was designed by really good designers, that has a lot of time under its belt, and then go, hey, I'm going to build a website off of this because I already know it works. And I'm going to use 80% of it. Yo, 3:30 a.m. What's up, Uncle Zoot? Big fan of Uncle Zoot. Guys, go follow him if you can. He's a good dude. I like his stuff. Anyway, back to pioneering costs for like 10 seconds. That's a fast way to get people to learn things, is to take stuff people already know and flip it so that you can use it. It's a real easy psychological hack. And that's the best way to do it. 10:30 p.m. in New York. What's up? Oh, Jura nerd. Anyway. Yeah, you're very welcome, Uncle Zoot. Pleasure to have you on here. Unfortunately, some things that really isn't a therapist. For instance, it's that will fight internally for the rest of your life. Yep. Joseph is right. I think it's a good idea. Freud self-hypnotized all the time. I would consider myself off. Somewhat of a Freudian psychology. Yeah, I mean, what other psychology really is there? Adlerian psychology? Like, dude, Adlerian psychology is like whack, I think. Freudian psychology I agree with as well. I'm 100% into it. I just don't think I've ever been hypnotized. I don't think you can. I don't think there's certain people that are immune to hypnosis. UK. Yeah, he's good, dude. Uncle Zoot's got a cool accent too, man. You guys go want to hear some good accents. Talk to that, like listen to that guy. He's a good dude. He does good lives. I'm aware. That's why instead of seeking therapy, I actually talk with people I know that were there. Okay, that's cool, Joseph. I like that. It's a good idea. You know, it's another good way of doing it, and I don't even do this. I do it through my video content mostly, but I write a lot. And I mean an insane amount. Way too much. I probably write like 20 pages a day for stuff. And too much. Jungian, Carl Jung, I'm more of a Freudian myself. Jung is good, but you know who's bad? I'd still think Adlerian I don't know if you guys have heard of Adlerian psychology, but it's like Adler was not, I don't know. I don't think it was good. Jojo, you could produce that much. You just have to really just say, you don't have a choice. But I'm also a guy that I either walk or run every single day. I think it's like 1,033 days today. It could be 1,034. I'm not sure, but it's that many days where I walk or run at least 4 miles a day, every single day. That's how many days I've done it in a row without missing a day. So I am like unbelievably consistent to a insane extent. Yeah, writing, Joseph, exactly. Writing a journal. I never thought journaling was a thing. I was always like, yeah, whatever, dude. What am I writing this stuff down for? It just lets you think. And that's what I've been doing the most. I've been thinking so much while I write. And I'm just like, wow, there's like so many things I come across as I'm writing in my own psychology that I'm like, wow, what's that about? It catches me off guard sometimes. And I'm like, whoa, that's a pretty cool, interesting thing I just came across while I'm making this video. And then I dig deeper into that. And then I just like, I get addicted to learning, I guess you could say, addicted to research. I guess my addiction is healthier, on the healthier side of addiction, which is like learning and stuff. But it's also not useful unless you're playing Trivial Pursuit. I know too much. It's like useless in this world because you can just Google things now. You're currently writing a fantasy novel. That's pretty cool. I've never been able to do fiction. I don't read fiction. I watch fiction. Nice. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. You can write fiction like that. I respect that. I mean, I'm probably going to do it too, but I don't know if I don't get a kick out of it. I like learning stuff like facts and stuff. It's for some reason it grounded me my whole life. Yes. Offloading cognitive. Yes. Offloading your cognitive load helps consolidate info. Yes, it does. It also just lets me write a whole bunch of stuff. I have so many notes in my Apple, my Apple Notes is crazy. It is, how many thousands is it now? It's like almost 3,000. The Notes app has over 3,000 things I've written in it by now. So yes, exactly, Joe Nerd. Write it down, and you're just like, I remember I went through a breakup when I was in my 20s, and I was like, thought it was the end of the world. I was convinced it's the end of the world. And I was like writing, it was just like super, just, I was like, oh my God, it's just over. I'm never going to be happy again. And I was in my early 20s. So again, this is hilarious, right? So I read this thing, embarrassingly find it in my stuff like 15 years later. And I'm like, oh, this is a cool looking book. What is this? I'm like, oh, that's my note thing. And I was so embarrassed. No one was even there. And I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed of reading what I wrote, but I was also like, wow, I've come a long way. It really does help. Surprisingly, it really does help. I am also 97% complete on a book as well. So I have a second book also. I have a third in the hopper too, like an idea of one, but we'll see if I do it. Cause making content, like making videos is really hard. It sounds so lame to say, but it's actually a lot harder than you think. Like I write just for, like I said, videos. Like I write so much. You guys don't even see like probably at least 40% of the content I make, you don't even see because it's not good enough for me. So I just like shelve it. A couple of videos popped off. I was never going to release. I still can't believe some of them popped off. So that's good that you journaled your whole life. I wish I did. I would love to look back on journals right now. That'd be so cool. They're not, Megan, they're not smart though. That's the problem. When you become MAGA, you instantly disqualify yourself as being intelligent. That's it, right? Like you might be smart in certain things, but you're not consciously intelligent because what the message is hate. And if you don't see the message as being hateful, then you're not smart, right? So I hate to say it, but at the same time, it's like, it's just true. Please make an audiobook. I have an audiobook. It's on, I already have a book out. I published in March of 2025. Check it out. It's called Community Market Fit. It's on Spotify. It's on Amazon. It's on all the platforms. Check it out. Give me a 5-star rating too, please. That'd be great. Mermaid from Gulf of Mexico. What a great place to live, by the way. Gulf of Mexico must be nice. Glad I could answer a lot of questions for you. That's good. Critical thinking. Yeah, I agree. I love critical thinking. All right. I'm going to call it a night. 2 hours and 45 minutes. Do you use your Calm voice? I will buy your book. Yes, I use my Calm voice. This is the voice I use right here. But check it out. It's on, check out, Thank You for Your Wisdom. Crazy Amy, of course. Check it out. It's called Community Market Fit. If you want to learn how to build a community also anywhere. By the way, first chapter is really good. I really enjoy the first chapter. It's about the Bible. I think you guys will get a kick out of it. If you have Spotify, it's free. It's not the Gulf of America, let's be honest, guys. It's the Gulf of Mexico. It always will be. Come on. Come on now. Come on now. It's not the Gulf of America. Although I get why it'd be called the Gulf of America, just because you're naming it that. But it is the Americas, right? South America, North America. I mean, I get it, but it's still called the Gulf of Mexico, so you can't change the name. I'm sure someone that gets in the presidency is going to just strike that from the record pretty quick. So you can't just change stuff like that. You can't just decide. You could have just asked Mexico. Like, why didn't you ask everybody around? Be like, hey, you know what? I will help you out. Help me rename this, right? Give me the okay. Everybody agrees to rename it. Then that's cool. Then you have consensus. You can't just go in and like force the name. No one's going to accept it, dude. That's what a bully does. So. Thanks, Kristen. Hey, Kristen, I'm really disappointed. Buy my book. If you bought my book, you better give me a 5-star rating. I'll be very upset if you don't give me 5 stars. I haven't seen it on up on Amazon yet. I need a 5-star rating. Some Trump supporter gave me a 2-star rating. I have one bad rating on my book, and it's a Trump supporter who bought it just so they could rate my book. Very disappointed. Well, you don't have to check. I mean, dude, the book's free if you just go on to Spotify. You can I think they give you a certain amount of hours to like listen to audiobooks. Obviously, I would rather you bought the other book, but you know how many book sales I would need to have for it to be meaningful to me? Just give me, what I like is 5 stars. So if you want to buy the book, you know, the best way to help me out is to buy the book on like Kindle and then just give it a 5-star rating. Like, you don't have to, I wish I could just give it away for free on Kindle, but it's like Amazon like forces you, and my publisher like forces me to like charge for it, which is so lame. I'm going to see if I can make it like, I'm going to talk to her tomorrow, see if I can make it 99 cents. So you guys can all like rate it if you want to pay 99 cents to rate it for me, but you don't have to, of course. Why would a narcissist ask permission? This is my last thing, and I'm going to go. Why would a narcissist ask permission? They wouldn't. They want your buy-in, but a narcissist wouldn't, which is exactly, you're right. It's the valid point of Trump, right? He wouldn't ask. He just forces himself onto, what a surprise, forces himself. So yeah, he just forces himself into situations, and yeah, narcissist wouldn't. It's a very good point. All right, guys, it's been well. I really enjoyed talking with you guys. Maybe I'll be on again this weekend if you guys are going to be around. But I'm going to go for right now. I got to eat. I got to drink water. And I got to make videos for you. And yeah, I'll catch you on the flip side, guys. Bye.